October 6, 2025, 9:47 in the morning. One email gets sent. By the time the sun sets, $47 billion has vanished. This is the story of how an empire died in 7 days, and why it matters to you. Every morning, you wake up in a world powered by AI. ChatGPT writes your emails. Claude helps you think. Midjourney brings your ideas to life. But here's what nobody tells you. Behind every single one of these miracles is a single company's chip. Nvidia. 92% of all AI runs on their hardware. For 20 years, they didn't just lead the race. They owned the track. They sold the shoes. They wrote the rules. A monopoly so complete, the entire AI revolution had to rent space in their world. Until 2 weeks ago, when OpenAI walked into a conference room and said 3 words that cracked the foundation: "We don't need you." One partnership announcement, 7 days, $47 billion. And if you work in tech or use technology, what happens next will reshape your world. This is that story. To understand how an empire falls, you need to know how it rises. Our story begins in 2004. Nvidia makes graphics cards. Teenage boys buy them to play Call of Duty. That's the entire business model. Pretty explosions, realistic shadows, nothing revolutionary. Then, scientists discover something. Nvidia's gaming chips, by pure accident, are perfect for training artificial intelligence. Why? Games render thousands of pixels simultaneously. AI trains on thousands of calculations simultaneously. Same hardware, different dream. Jensen Huang, Nvidia's CEO, sees it first. While the world thinks he's selling toys to gamers, he's building the infrastructure for the future. He bets everything. And the universe rewards bold bets. 2016. An AI beats the world champion at Go, a game with more possible moves than atoms in the universe. It runs on Nvidia chips. 2020. GPT-3 writes poetry, code, and essays indistinguishable from humans. Nvidia chips. 2023. ChatGPT becomes the fastest product in history to reach 100 million users. Every single breakthrough, powered by one company. This is the H100. $40,000 each. Want to build your own ChatGPT? You'll need 10,000 of them. That's $400 million just to start. Do the math. OpenAI pays, Google pays, Meta pays, Microsoft pays, because there's no alternative. By 2024, Nvidia owns 92% of the AI chip market. $3 trillion in value. Jensen Huang becomes one of the 10 richest humans alive. May 2025, he stands on stage and says,
"We have no credible competition."
That sentence will haunt him for the rest of his life. Here's what most people don't understand. Nvidia's real power wasn't the chips. It was the cage they built around them. Imagine you want to switch to AMD's cheaper chips. Here's what it costs. You rewrite 3 years of code. You retrain 500 engineers. You risk catastrophic bugs in production systems. $50 to $100 million. 12 to 18 months. While your competitors sprint ahead on Nvidia, or you stay with Nvidia and pay their 78% profit margins. For context, Apple, the most profitable company in history, makes 38% on iPhones. Nvidia doubled that, because they could, because you had no choice. That's not business strategy. That's a hostage situation. But every cage has a weak point. Every monopoly makes one fatal mistake. And Nvidia's was assuming the cage would hold forever. October 6, 2025. 9:47 a.m. Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, sends an email that breaks the internet. OpenAI announces a 6-gigawatt partnership with AMD. Not a pilot program, not a test. A multi-billion-dollar commitment. 6 gigawatts, enough electricity to power 6 million homes, all dedicated to AMD's MI300X chips, running OpenAI's next generation of models. The message is clear. We don't need Nvidia anymore. And then, the dominoes fall. Same week, Google opens third-party data centers running their Trillium chips, competing directly with Nvidia's cloud rental monopoly. Meta announces $35 billion in custom ARM-based AI chips. Microsoft deploys custom accelerators across Azure. Every tech giant in 7 days says the same thing. We're done renting your world. Why now? The math finally makes sense. Nvidia's H100, $40,000. AMD's MI300X, $20,000. Same computational power. OpenAI trains their next model. They save $2.5 billion. That's not a rounding error. That's 500 engineers. That's bigger models. That's new products that reshape your daily life. But here's the part that matters more than money. For 20 years, Nvidia controlled who got chips, who got access, what got built, which ideas became reality. One company decided the pace of human progress. And every CEO in Silicon Valley looked at that cage and realized, this ends now. Let's be clear about something. Nvidia isn't dead. They're still the leader. Cuda is still the standard. Most AI still runs on their chips. But something fundamental just shifted. Analysts project their market share drops from 92% to 65% within 18 months. Still first place, but no longer untouchable. Those 78% profit margins? Unsustainable. When AMD sells equivalent chips for half the price, when Google gives cloud access to their custom silicon, when Meta builds in-house. Nvidia has two choices: cut prices or lose customers. The golden age is over. This isn't a crash. It's a correction. The difference between those words? About $1 trillion. And for you, for everyone watching, this is where everything changes. Forget the stock prices. Forget the billionaires. Here's what this means for your life. AI just became 50% cheaper. And when technology gets cheaper, barriers collapse. That hospital in your city? They can now afford AI for cancer diagnostics, catching tumors traditional scans miss. That law firm downtown? They can automate contract review, freeing lawyers to focus on strategy, not paperwork. Your local business? They can optimize supply chains with tools that were Fortune 500 only last year. And you? If you're an analyst, you get enterprise forecasting tools that cost $0. If you're an engineer, you can run powerful models on your laptop, not rent them for $2 per query. If you're a creator, you get tools that used to require six-figure budgets. Every industry, every job, better tools. This year. But here's your fork in the road. You can learn to use these tools, or get replaced by someone who does. The skill that separates winners and losers in 2026 isn't coding, it's systems thinking, understanding infrastructure, choosing the right tools, optimizing costs, integrating AI into real workflows. That's strategy. That's power. That's your edge. The old world is cracking. The new one is being built right now. The question isn't whether you'll participate. It's whether you'll lead or follow. One email, 7 days, $47 billion. May 2025. Jensen Huang says, no credible competition. October 2025. OpenAI, Google, Meta, and Microsoft prove him wrong. The monopoly is broken. But there's something bigger coming. Something nobody's talking about yet. China just solved the chip problem everyone said was impossible. And when it drops, it doesn't just change tech. It rewrites geopolitics, trade, power itself. That story drops Friday. And if you thought this email was devastating, you haven't seen anything yet, hit like if this changed how you see the world. Subscribe. Turn on notifications, because this war, it's just beginning. And you're going to want a front row seat.